Right, so here's the fertility rate in Europe. Of course, 2.1 being needed for replacement. Okay, and as you can see, it's super low everywhere in Europe. Yeah, Eastern Europe looks better, but yeah, Western Europe, especially Spain, that's population collapse. And why is it like that? Yeah, well, because they've made it so, it used to be the man would go to work, the woman would be a housewife and do the, housework and raise the children and all that. That was the woman's role, but they changed that, didn't they, with social engineering? Now the women are strong and independent, and they don't need no man. Okay, but to that's a bit simple. But I think the main reason which I learned is all these women, right, the Western women now, and they all say things like "I hate men," right, or they're lesbian or something. Yeah, but I'll tell you what it is, right. When they say "I hate men," right, what it means is they've been fucked by Chad, the 1% of men who's some 6 footers, 6'2", 6'4", something like that, and they are uh, conventionally attractive, or whatever that is, whatever women find attractive, and I guess they have hair, nice hair as well, so they're not bald. Right, so they look like Superman, yeah. The 1% of men, right? So the average woman up to not Stacy level, so below Stacy level, right? They'll probably get a one night standed and fucked by a Chad, and when that happens, that's it. They'll go, I got fucked by Chad. Oh my god, I want him to marry me. They want to lock down this Chad, but of course that'll never happen. Okay, because you just use them as a sex toy. So then all the women will go, I hate all men. Yeah, but what they really mean is they love Chad, and they've been fucked by Chad, and now nothing else will do. You see, and then any man who isn't a Chad, a non-Chad, all women will, when they say I hate men, that's who they mean. They mean the non-Chads, because after they've been fucked by Chads, every man is basically, they consider them subhuman, and they hate all men that aren't Chads. All right, and that's what they mean by I hate men. So what they do, okay, there's ugly women out there, very ugly women, right? And they'll be like lesbians, right? But really, it's because they were so ugly they weren't even a 5 out of 10. They're ugly and fat or something, that they couldn't get the Chad dick, yeah? But they want the Chad dick because they all want Chad dick. I bet you any lesbian on earth, right, if they had the chance to be fucked by Chad, suddenly they wouldn't be a lesbian or a feminist or whatever. They wouldn't be. They would. Okay, so these lesbians are below average women, right? In looks, yeah. So they say they are lesbian, and then they definitely hate men, okay? Because they hate all men, but okay, because they're never going to get that Chad dick, so they are lesbian, right? Because I used to live on a street, right, and there was two blonde women, blonde hair, blue eyes, right. One of them was attractive, like an 8 out of 10. The other one was like a 5, and they said they're lesbian, but both of them had children, right? And they said, yeah, we're lesbian, and they made sure to tell me. I didn't even approach them. They just said hi one day, and they go, oh, we're a lesbian couple, and it's like, oh, thanks, I really needed to know that. Yeah, and they made sure to tell me, because obviously I'm not a Chad, I'm below average, in fact. So and they do that. They do the whole lesbian couple thing, and obviously they have children, so they've obviously had dick. Yeah, they love it. They love Chad dick. Okay, and they do that to ward off non-Chads. Right, that's all the whole lesbian bullshit is they can't stand men who are not the 1% of men who are Chads. All right. They can't stand you. They hate you. They absolutely hate you. You're subhuman, and they pretend you don't even exist. That's why men who are but not chads, or maybe not the top sort of 10 20% or whatever. Okay, women behave as though you are invisible. Okay, because they hate you. You're subhuman, right? Yet they will turn it around and they'll say, it's you're misogynist and all that. Yeah, but look, they're the ones who started it. Men's behavior is simply a reaction to female behavior. Okay, so that's it. And so I lived on that street, and there were two supposed lesbians, right? Yeah, but every now and then, quite rarely, I don't know how, maybe a few times a year, this Chad would come round, I was like a middle-aged Chad. Yeah, but there you go, 6-footer, yeah, very handsome, came in some very expensive car as well. And he stayed there a night. Probably fucked both of them as well. Yeah, they're such lesbians, huh? Okay, so there, I've just told you what the lesbian bullshit is, alright? And that's it. So that's going to be population collapse, because all the roasties, yeah, it's they would rather be single and have a career now than be with like even the average man, or I think women will only be, they're not even happy with Chad lights, they're not full fledged Chads, but like a Chad light who's like, I don't know, let's say that in the top sort of 10-15%, right? They're not even happy with that. They consider it's settling with anyone other than a Chad. It's settling to them. They're just, I'm settled. I'm just settling. I don't really love this man, because they only will love a Chad and the Chad horsecock. And that's why you're getting population collapse now. So there you go. I've just explained it all, and I've explained the woman behavior. You empower woman behavior, and I'm not saying society's good. I don't think society's good. I don't think civilization's good. I think it's shit. But I'm just telling you the situation. And good if it collapses. It would be good if it all collapsed and everyone died. That would be the best outcome. Okay, because I'm not going, oh no, civilization collapsing. Oh, how horrible. I don't give a fuck. It would be good if it did. I wish all the fucking stupid sheeple would just be dead. It would be better off for everyone. But I'm just telling you, that's the dynamic. Okay. And everything else is just a lying bunch of bullshit. Okay, there you go.